Yo guys, what's going on? Monday to 6 here, back with the 1998 Honda CBR, and today we're going to be lowering it. We're going to be lowering the front triple trees to get about 1.5 inches in the front, and we're going to be using this dog bone in the back to lower the rear swing arm. I'm only 5'9", kind of tippy toe when I ride this thing. I don't feel safe doing it. If you hit like a gravel road and a little soft sand or something like that, it's hard to get good footing. So what we're going to do is we're just going to lower this thing, hopefully obtain the ride height that we desire, and have a safe riding position. Alright guys, hope you enjoy. Okay, this is where the bike sits right now. You can kind of see the ride height of it. Just want to get a good overall before and after lowering the CBR. This is the ride height of the front of it. Here's the ride height of the back of it. Okay, we got the tape measure out. Looks like we're sitting right about 5.5 to the bottom of that fairing on the front. Alright, and this is where we're sitting on the back right now. We have it almost sitting at exactly 8 inches on the back part of the fairing. Okay, initially here's the CBR, kind of sitting at stock height. Alright, first thing we're going to do to get this dog bone in, the lowering link for the CBR, we're going to remove these lower fairings, these rear fairings, and the seat. It'll give us better access to the bolts, so we can go ahead and get this switched out. Alright, let's go ahead and get it done. Okay, we got the seat and the rear fairings off, just a couple bolts. So let's go ahead and remove these fairings. Same thing, just a couple bolts. Let's get them removed. Okay, we got the fairing removed from this side. Let's get it removed from the other side. Okay, we got the fairing removed from this side. Let's go ahead and take a look at that dog bone and see exactly what we have to do to get it removed and installed. Alright, here's the dog bone underneath the CBR. There it is right here. Here's the stock dog bone. We have 2 bolts, 2 nuts, one on the top, one on the bottom. We're just going to go ahead, loosen them up, remove these nuts, and get ready to remove this dog bone. Okay, right now we're going to be loosening this bottom bolt. I haven't removed the bolts from that dog bone, but this is what I have. I have a jack stand right here on this side. I have the rear swing arm lift stand over on this side. And then if we come over here, we'll see that I have another jack stand on this side over here. I believe once I remove those 2 bolts, the rear swing arm is going to want to drop down. So I have the front of the bike supported up, and I have this rear stand right here to lift the swing arm whenever the bolts are removed. Okay, getting ready to remove this bottom bolt. Alright, bottom bolt is removed. Okay, we got this bottom bolt removed of the bike. There we go. Dog bone is removed. See, this is what we can do with the rear tire. We're able to move this up and down, just like that, with the front of the bike supported. So we'll go ahead and we'll just move that top bolt off that stock dog bone. Okay, here is a side-by-side comparison. There's a stock one, here's the aftermarket one to lower the back of the CBR. Let's go ahead and we're going to install it just like this. And we're going to install it on this setting right here to get the lowest ride height where we can. Okay, you will need these bushings right here out of your stock dog bone. So just grab this one and this one right here. We'll go ahead and we'll clean them up, and I'm going to apply a little bit of grease to them. It won't hurt anything, but we'll go ahead and we'll install them in there. Okay, here's some of the grease I'm going to add. This is just some Mobil 1 synthetic grease. I use it for ball joints and U-joints, everything like that on the other vehicles. I'm just going to grab a little bit of this, apply it here. Just, I don't know if it needs it, but just going to anyway, just to lubricate it. Put it on, we'll put it on both of them. Okay, I got them greased up. You can see them greased up, and they just fit in there nice and snug. Got this one in there too. Moves nice and freely with that grease on it. Okay, we're getting ready to install this. We'll just install this top part first. Once this is up in there, we'll just reinstall the bolt and the nut. Okay, this is what the bike looks like on this lowest setting. Definitely way too low for me. I'm gonna bring it up a notch. Just look how far that wheel would be tucked under there. It's just super low, so I'm gonna bring it up one more notch. I think it'll give me another inch more, but if you want it low, these dog bones will definitely get to where you want, but just need it lowered a little bit, not too crazy. Okay, I got it on that second to the lowest perch. Have the bolts installed. Just gonna go ahead and tighten up those bolts and nuts. We got the bolts and the nuts all tightened up. And go ahead and remove the jack stands out of the frame and see how this thing sits. We got the back of the Honda CBR all lowered down. I believe it lowered about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches, not sure. Have to put the fairings on and do some measurements. But now it's time to do the front of the bike. Like I said, we're going to try to go maybe 1.5 inches. I'm not sure if I want to go 2, but I need to be flat-footed on the ground just for safety purposes. But let's go ahead and let's do the front now. Here we are on the front of the CBR. There is no lowering kit for the front. Simply just have to loosen a bunch of bolts and then slide the triple trees down the forks. You can kind of gauge your measurement right here from the top of these forward controls. Essentially once this bolt here, and there's one down there on that lower triple tree. We will loosen those for both sides and then simply just push down on the front of the bike, and the forks should be able to slide up the triple trees and then get it to your desired height and then tighten the bolts back up. So let's go ahead and loosen all the bolts to slide the triple trees down, raise the forks up. Let's go down to these bottom bolts first. So right here, it's a 14 millimeter. Let's go ahead and loosen both of those bolts on both sides. Okay, we got the bolts loose on the top of the triple tree. Got the bolts loose on the bottom of the triple tree. Next, we're going to loosen up this Allen head bolt, and that holds on your forward controls. Just loosen both of these up. So we have everything kind of loose on here. The bike's going to want to just go down a little bit. I went and tightened these up. I can loosen them. So as you loosen the bolts, just gently press down on the bike and the fork should come up. Just do that. We'll get on the bike, we'll press it down, see where it goes. Okay, to get a little bit more clearance here, I moved this little brake reservoir. It'll give me access to this Allen screw that's right here. So I have those 2 bolts lower down there, all the bolts on these forward controls. So if I just start loosening this Allen head here, you'll see the forks starting to come up. Okay, let's see if we can capture this here. Just got to be easy on it. Don't want the bike to drop too far down. Okay, so I got that one loosened. It's just tightened just a snug. Oh, I see the forks going. It's definitely a slow process, but I can see it moving. Oh, they're moving. They're moving right there. This is the part you just got to be careful right here. Oh, I see them lowering down, lowering down. All right, let me stop it right there. Let's see how far we've gone. Okay, that's how far we've gone so far. Maybe 1.5 inches. We'll, okay, we got the forks to slide up the triple tree. Just make sure you loosen that Allen wrench there very carefully. This will start, you know, kind of creeping up, inching its way up. Right now we're sitting 1.5 inches here, 1.5 inches here, so we're at 1.5 inches lowered on the front. Let's just tighten everything up. Let's put our brake reservoir back on and just let's see where we're sitting. Okay, we got the CBR lowered here about 1.5 inches. Looking good. This is essentially what it looks like. So let's throw the fairings on and see exactly how much ground clearance we have. But we will have to do something with the kickstand. We'll have to lower it. Bike stands up a little bit too straight. But let's go ahead and put those fairings on. Here's the big reveal on the 1998 Honda CBR that's been lowered about 1.5 inches. There she is, sitting pretty. what she looks like from the back side. Here's the front side of her. Like I said, we still have to do something about the kickstand. She's sitting a little too high up right now because it's lowered. But got that nice stance, able to secure my feet on the ground safely. This is the height we're sitting at here on the front. We're looking about 4.5 inches on the front. This is where we're looking at the back. We're looking right at 6 inches. Alright you guys, hope you enjoyed the video of lowering the 1998 Honda CBR. All you got to do is buy the dog bone for the rear swing arm, and the front is a free lowering kit. All you got to do is loosen the bolts on that triple tree and have the forks slide up. You got yourself a lowered CBR. Alright you guys, till the next time, Monday to 6. Out.